This is a vlog. This is a bit of a sludge content vlog. I'll keep non-vlog and non-stream content in a playlist in the bottom on the links. But I don't have any ready at the time of recording this. The blurb today tries to give my thoughts on my self-management strategy for a passion project like the one I'm programming. Along with the mini painting I'm plucking away at here, I'm trying to make a game engine. Then at the end, I go into a brief discussion of where I am with these particular models that are providing the visual segment of this, just to give a broad idea of what I'm doing in my goblin loft. Boop. I don't want to go too far into detail about how I'm trying to program this because I'm not convinced that's interesting as voice overlay. I'm using a conventional approach with scripts implementing business behavior and logic to communicate between binary systems written in native code. And for me, that then means I need to encode scripted objects to disk to form basic assets that could then be loaded back to recreate that whole object hierarchy. Since I'm using JavaScript as the language, I need the encoded data to carry its own type signatures, right? Well, in effect, I've strapped a type system on top of JavaScript for those special scripted objects that need to be saved or loaded from disk. With a type system bolted onto JavaScript, I can effectively use reflection to decode values without knowing what they were on disk. But a more graceful approach occurred to me at the very last minute. It occurred to me that I could treat all values as something with a type. So a hash map with keys A, B, and C pointing to values 1, 2, and 3 would be encoded as a hash map with keys A, B, and C, but each of them would then point to a little table with a single member called value, which then pointed to 1, 2, or 3. I don't think that closer examination of the Unity 3D shenanigans would have revealed this truth to me, and I haven't seen published material on this specific problem domain. So if you know where some of that is, link it in the description, but otherwise this was the sort of thing that really can only occur to you midway through a project. And as I'm doing here, and I think other people will agree you just have to do sometimes, you put it aside, you write it down in a little note, and you put it aside, and you don't touch it until the rest of the project is done and you can rewrite this. Certainly plan around this replacement coming in, but don't keep ripping the insulation out of your house when what you need is running water, even if you keep learning how to do the walls better. The revised system should handle any scenario, really. So it's better in the long run. It also doesn't require as many shenanigans to work around the language's syntax. For the time being, though, I don't think it's necessary to prove my point. Anyway, what you're watching me paint, I'm applying the third major color, the accent color, to these Stormcast Eternals. And I really don't like how this stage of the project looks, because the models themselves look like a rather cliched pattern. The next two stages are to start on the ash stone and to start putting the brown in the leather areas. And after that, the third next upcoming stage, the sixth stage, I guess, is to start applying Balthasar gold everywhere. And at that point, these really start looking like where they're going. But for now, the paints look uneven. They don't quite line up because I'm taking the fix it with washes approach. And the color scheme looks a bit I'm currently loving this 1/8 chisel brush even if it's heartbreakingly frayed. At some point, I need to remember to go downstairs and find the packet of Mortal Realms magazine's brushes I have, because I know I've got some Games Workshop base brushes, and I should try those out. So I think I currently have one video well and truly in flight, another two filmed, and I need to work out a workflow for them. I'm trying to get into the habit of streaming at 8 p.m. UK time as Wiki Pete. I don't know if that'll last, but that's why the filming setup looks like a Twitch stream. Okay, let's see how this video does.